Mia sat by the window, watching the storm rage outside. The rain splattered against the glass, illuminated by the flickering streetlights. Wrapped in her silk nightdress, she curled her legs under her, sipping from a half-empty glass of wine. It had been weeks since she had seen another soul. Being a writer gave her freedom, but at the cost of isolation. Then came the knock. It was soft, yet insistent, cutting through the howling wind. Mia hesitated. Who would be outside in this weather? Slowly, she made her way to the door and opened it. A man stood before her, drenched from head to toe, his dark hair dripping with rain. His piercing eyes met hers, filled with something unreadable. "Can I come in?" His voice was deep, smooth, almost hypnotic. Mia should have said no. But something about him, his presence, his intensity, made her step aside. He introduced himself as Adrian, a traveler caught in the storm. They sat by the fire, the warmth chasing away the chill in the air. His gaze never left hers. His movements were slow, deliberate. The tension between them thickened as he reached out, brushing a damp strand of hair from her face. "You shouldn't be alone on nights like these," he murmured. Mia's breath hitched. She had been alone for too long. Their lips met, soft at first, then desperate. His hands roamed her back, pulling her closer. The fire flickered, casting shadows on the walls as the night swallowed them whole. She awoke alone. The sheets beside her were cold. Mia sat up, rubbing her eyes. The house was silent, too silent. Then she saw it. On the bedside table lay a small, weathered notebook. She didn't remember seeing it before. Frowning, she picked it up and flipped through the pages. It was filled with sketches of her, detailed, intimate sketches. Some were of her writing at her desk, others of her sleeping, and one was from last night, in Adrian's arms. Her blood ran cold. How did he have these? A chill ran down her spine. She jumped out of bed and rushed to the door. It was locked, from the outside. Heart pounding, she grabbed her phone, but there was no signal. She banged against the door. "Adrian?" a voice whispered behind her. "You weren't supposed to see that." Mia spun around. Adrian stood in the doorway watching her. "Who are you?" she whispered. His lips curled into a slow, dangerous smile. "The one who's been watching over you." Her breath hitched. "What do you mean?" He took a step closer. "You don't remember, do you? We've met before." Mia shook her head. "That's not possible." Adrian chuckled, tilting his head. "Think, Mia. The car accident. The night by the cliffs." Her mind reeled. Memories she had long buried surfaced. Flashes of a car skidding on wet roads. The impact. The feeling of drowning in darkness. And then, a man. His face blurred but familiar. "You saved me," she realized, voice barely above a whisper. Adrian nodded. "I pulled you from the wreck, but you were different after that." Mia's heart pounded. "Different how?" "You weren't supposed to survive," he said, stepping closer. "But I couldn't let you go." The room darkened. The fire dimmed. Shadows twisted around him, moving unnaturally. Mia backed against the wall. "What are you?" His eyes gleamed. "Something not meant to be seen." A gust of wind burst through the window, knocking over the lamp. The room plunged into darkness, and then a whisper in her ear. "Run."